working until like 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
Really? It's just
It's
gonna
going
keep
to be
raining?
yeah. Yeah, the low pressure system is like doing a cartwheel right over Arkansas and Dallas. It's just kind of like it's just going to spin. It looks like bullet time. It looks like a bullet time animation.
That's
And
awful.
yeah, and so we're just going to get flooded with stuff. And there's and I drive around the city for work, and so I see like little streams that are just overflowing with water. Some streets are flooded. I think a couple of schools got closed because the schools were flooding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been a big deal, but
It stinks.
thankfully the house is dry.
So far, so good. That's
Yep,
awesome.
so far so good.
Yeah. I
We'll
should
see what the
tweet.
rest of the week brings, but yeah.
I should tweet.
Yes. That way I can retweet the tweet. Tweedly deedly dee.
Boom. Boom.
And there's the notification.
Yeah. There we
There's
go.
the retweet.
Sweet. Hi, chat room. Sorry we're a little late. Marconin had a busy work day and literally just got home 5 minutes ago. So
Walked in the door, changed shirts, and here I am. That's it.
so it was
That's
like,
all you got.
okay,
No prep.
well, we're just gonna do it live. These notes are
Yep.
easy enough to do on the fly, so we're just gonna do it live.
Do it live.
I know it is. I'm gonna peek out the window right now. Yeah, it's really snowing right now, which really sucks.
And it's really raining down here, so it's
Ugh.
precipitation station.
Ugh. Yeah, it looks like, between now and the end of Saturday, we will probably gather about a foot of snow over the two storms.
Ooh.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? No. No. just no. Tired of this. So tired of this.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, like day before yesterday, it was like 70, 72. Like I
Yeah.
almost wore shorts to work.
Yeah.
And
The boatless man in the chat room called me yesterday while I was on the treadmill at the gym. And I answered the phone and I'm like, hey, I'm at the gym. What's up? Just wanted to let you know that it's 77 degrees outside. We got the windows open in the car as we're cruising
Feels
around.
great.
And I said, I hate you.
Yeah.
I love you, but I hate you.
I'm going to ship you a bag full of snow.
I said, it was like yesterday, it was like 10 degrees when I went outside. It's going to snow on Thursday. It's going to snow on Saturday. And you're walking around freaking 77 degrees. That just makes me sick. Like, that's not there. And
No.
yeah, it's just like
That's not fair at all.
All of us in Minnesota are just like, we are so done. So done. Yeah. It's just obnoxious. So yeah, you're sitting there with your 60 some odd degrees and you're loving it, and then now you have to deal with all the rain.
Yeah. The uncharacteristic weather must be, the debt must be paid. The heat must be balanced.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw today that it was raining in like 44 in New Jersey, so I'm like, well, at least things balanced itself out a little bit there.
That's about what it is down here, so yeah.
Yeah. So here I am wearing 2 long sleeve layers right now, and I'm just like, just trying to stay warm because it's cold. It's cold. So yes.
Hopefully spring is right around the corner.
Let's hope so.
Hopefully.
I mean, I always kind of mark March as the springtime, which is a dumb idea because it's not really spring. But when the calendar crosses over into March is usually like when I start to get hopeful.
Yeah.
Getting closer. And it starts like next week. So that's awesome. But
oh, gosh, that's right. Yeah. When does March start? March 1st will be next show.
Next show. Yeah. So Thursday. Yeah. So, and then the HGC Western Clash starts at like 4 a.m. on next Friday. So I will be getting up very early to start watching that.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be fun. So, yes, let me test our sounders. Let's see, which one should we pick? What do you want to do? Let's do this one.
Trifling gnome, your arrogance will be your undoing!
Yes. Hello, Draven. Hello, hello. Whose moat is that? I must look. That's cute.
It's a heart with a heart in it.
A heart with a heart. It's a heart with a less than 3. It's cute. Garrus is in his blanket. He's all cute. Can you see him? You probably can't see him behind me.
I don't think. Well, maybe. I think I see a little bit.
Yeah, you can see him under my arm. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There he is.
Him.
I see a little bit of him.
All curled up on his blanket. He's so silly. All right. Chat room, are you guys ready to check? Let's do the ready check thing. Where's my ready check? Why can't I find it? Oh, there it is. It's in the same place that it always is. I just don't remember where to look.
Woo!
Hello, Solo Mio. What?
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
I had some caffeine on the way in, so hopefully I will wake up a little bit because I am very tired.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a physically exhausting day.
We'll boost you up. Be like, boost.
Yeah.
Uno, 111. Uno. They're ready. You're ready. So, we're gonna do the handshake thing to wake you up. Handshaking.
I'm awake and I feel embarrassed now.
Yes,
so
well, you know, you're on the internet, so it's going to be a moment where you're just going to be embarrassed for the rest of your life. It's just how it
At
works.
least one. At least one.
At least one time.
I'm just glad Facebook and stuff wasn't around when I was growing up.
Hell yeah. Good God, I know. Because I know what it would have happened. In knowing me as a kid, I would have written some like horrific blog. Like, you know, like cringe factor worthy blog.
Yeah.
And it would be on the internet forever until I decided to delete it.
Yeah, I was gonna say my live journal is floating around somewhere.
You still have a live journal?
It's somewhere.
In boxes in my closet, I've got the written journals that I had when I was a kid, like a teenager.
Oh, nice.
And, you know, like middle schooler, teenager. Those are cringeworthy too.
I'll bet. Oh, I
so
bet.
much drama. Oh,
Oh.
so much drama. It was so scary.
Oh yeah, one of my coworkers is dating a girl, and she's in her mid-20s. I mean, he's like 31, so it's not too much of a age gap. Mm-hmm. But she said that she was creeping his Facebook now that they were starting to date, and so he's like, "Oh, I'll creep your Facebook. Oh, look, here's high school pictures." And she's like, "No, where are your high school pictures? On film." Because he when he put it, like all of my high school pictures are on film.
Yeah.
So they're not on social media. So no embarrassing child pictures for me. Mom, don't post those on Facebook, please.
Yeah. Your mom is literally
she has binders full of pictures.
Yeah.
Binders full. And so yeah, she could, but I don't think she will.
So then
don't
the next
invest
time
me
she
that
comes
much.
you come to see her, she'll have to pull out one of the binders so you can like snap a couple of like Hawaiian shirt photos and stuff.
Oh boy. Yeah, that'll be a fun throwback Thursday.
Yes, like just go ahead and like document, like get them onto your phone, like like half a dozen, and then you can just be like throwback Thursday for the entire month, like 2 months.
Oh yeah.
Be like scanning all those photos. It'd be funny. All right, kids, we're gonna get moving. We're gonna do the show so that Marconin stays awake and keep the momentum going. We're warming you up. We're getting you moving.
I think I'll be all right once we start rolling down the hill that is the show. Right. I get some momentum going.
Then let's roll down the hill. It is episode 261 and it records in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 261 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, February 22nd, 2018. It's 8:13 p.m. Central Time. My name is Jules, and with me, as always, is the man who's a little tired from a very long day. He literally came home about 10-15 minutes ago before we started the live stream. It's Mark Oden.
It has been a long day, but it's good to be back here with you all. Hello, good evening, Jules. Good evening, everybody. Or morning, afternoon, whenever you listen.
Yeah.
Have a good day or night. I can't have a good.
Have a good.
Just say have a good.
A good thing.
Have a good insert here. Insert blank here.
Well, since I normally post the show on Friday mornings now, so that most likely.
Ah.
I mean, it could be morning. Right now, it's evening for the both of us. We exist in the same time zone.
Yes.
But yeah, so it could be any time of the day or night, or time zone or location around the world that you're listening to the show, and we thank you for that, wherever you are.
We are worldwide.
We are worldwide. When you look at where our download numbers are, it's pretty crazy, like where people listen around the world. So shout out to all of you guys all around the world who listen to Tauren Think Tank and have been listening for almost 6 years now.
Goodness.
I can't even. I was thinking about this the other day and how surreal that feels to me, because I was looking at my phone. I was looking at pictures, old pictures of BlizzCon, my first couple BlizzCons.
Oh, yeah.
The first Nerdtacular that I went to in 2012, where I met some of the most important people that are in my life right now, like Pat Crane, Jocelyn Moffat. I met those people at that location, and that was like a month after Tauren Think Tank had started.
Yeah.
So it's just this kind of surreal thing that you think about. It's life kind of keeps going on, but that little time capsule is just that there's those markers in there. We have this feedback letter that I'm going to read. I may actually read it before we actually do the letter because it's from the same person who does the letter this time around. And he mentions how he's been listening since the beginning, since the days of me and Rem. And that was just like that. It just feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
That just feels like another lifetime ago. And so, yeah, that was cool. There was kind of one of those moments where I'm like, wow, we've come a long way, baby.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because the shirt, I got home like right before showtime, so I like ran in the door, got out of my work clothes, and the first shirt I grab is my first year of BlizzCon 2013. Yeah. So I'm wearing my first shirt, the shirt I bought when I first met Jules.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was such a fun time too. That whole BlizzCon was amazing. I have so few pictures of that BlizzCon too. I don't know why I didn't take any pictures, but I have like a small handful of pictures, and that's it. I'm so sad.
I took a ton because I was just flabbergasted at everything. Like
I think I was too. So I forgot.
Yeah. I was just like, I want to take pictures with everybody and everything. Like, me and Ghostcrawler, me and Randy Jordan, me and Scott Johnson, me and you, me and Coltrane, everybody.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, oh, hey, there's all my friends. And so I just hang out with them and like, oh, somebody takes a picture, send that to me. And I just I don't take as many as I did that first year.
No.
Because it was just, it's almost old hat now, but not really old hat. It's just, it's the norm.
Yeah.
November means friends in California.
The destination every year, and it's too true.
Yep.
I even found, so I was going through my phone looking stuff. There's a bunch of pictures that I had from this past BlizzCon that I didn't even post. I hadn't posted them anywhere. And it was like these random pictures that I had taken because I just wanted to mark the moments. There's like these great pictures of us sitting before the opening ceremonies in the Hearthstone area, all of us sitting there. There's some great pictures of us on the escalator. Like I'm taking the picture as we're coming down the escalator. So I'm in the front and they're all behind me. And I'm like, I forgot about these pictures. I took them. And then, I hadn't posted them anywhere. So it wasn't like they were just on my phone. I hadn't shared them. So this is a little surprise that I found. Because he just kind of like, for me, I'll remember, I'm like, I gotta take pictures, and then I take them and then I forget about them.
Yeah. You mark the moment, and then you probably forget the moment.
Because I'm experiencing the moment.
Yeah, you're in the moment.
I am. So we're totally off tangent because I'm partially like warming Marconan up too because he's had a really long day. So I'm partially just like warming him up and getting the brain moving. So in that realm, what's been happening in the last 7 days since we've last recorded?
Well, I did not get the rocket mount on that last day after the show, so there's always next year, right?
Yeah, you and a lot of other people. Did you have a moment?
Yeah, just a moment.
Okay.
That's all I need
right now.
Well, no, it's just expected that I'm not going to get it. So that way, the joy and the euphoria of actually getting it maybe next year, we'll see. Will more than compensate for the lack of it. Yeah. I know my good brother in arms of mount collecting, Draven Dresden, got his this year. Yeah. So if someone as dedicated as he, who is probably one of the few people who are more dedicated than I am, if he can get it, it looks good for me. Hopefully, so we shall see.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it exists because people are actually like they are getting it. It's just that drop rate is the absolute worst.
I don't know who I've got to pay off at Blizzard. Like, dude, seriously, here's some money. Type some numbers into your database. Send me an email or send me a piece of mail with it in there. I won't tell anyone.
This would be
ever.
The scandal of all scandals, you know.
I won't learn it until the first day of next year's Love is in the Air, so the achievement looks legit. I promise. It'll sit in my bags for a year.
All I can imagine is like the scandal that comes out where people are like dynamiting the fact that your achievement doesn't match the time frame where it was actually received.
That's why I just leave it in my bag. Right. I wouldn't learn it.
Right.
And get I'd leave it in my mailbox or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my gosh.
Not going to happen though.
It's not going to happen, but it just
not going to happen in a million years.
In the world of breaking news, like this could be total breaking news.
I know. The scandal that rocked Blizzard Entertainment.
So no rocket.
So I didn't. No rocket, but by this time next year, I will have gotten a few more mounts because Battle for Azeroth will be out, and I will have at least 4 or 5 new mounts because I'm gonna get all of the allied races, all that knocked out, as well as whatever new mounts come with the expansion or whatever. But no mount, but I. Let's see. Well, one of the things is, a couple weeks ago we didn't have a show because my friend Jim passed away, and he did a blues show on my college station, and I was talking at the visitation with one of the managers of the station, as well as Jim's eldest son, and Jim and his son had written a show for his son to voice because he's like, hey, I've done this show for 8 years. I'll let my son do one.
Right.
And he's like my age. So, and he's like, I'll let my son do a show. It's about songs that both of us like. And well, sadly he got sick before he got to do it. He passed away. I got a call from him on Saturday night. And he said that he's talked to people at the station and he wants to do the show that he was going to do as the final show as a tribute to my friend Jim. And he said that he wanted me to come up and produce and record the show for him.
Oh, wow.
And not Jim's current producer, because I was the one that I was there from the first day. I was there for the first 3 years of the show. So hopefully next Monday I'll go back up and I'll sit in my old producer chair from 6 or 7 years ago now.
Wow.
And I'll get to record Jim's son doing the show, and I'll just edit and produce it. I'll take my laptop and do it while I'm there.
That's
and
awesome.
So I'll have a copy of the final show. And while I'm there, I'm going to try and find a couple of, because we have all the shows on disc, because I made sure they were all preserved when I was there. Maybe see if I can go in the archives and grab a couple copies and burn them so that I'll have them.
That'd be
and might share some online or something, because that's there's no like online distribution for it. But if you want to learn about music and about the roots of a genre of music, like he goes really deep into music and shows you really cool stuff. So anyway, that's the coolest thing that's happened to me this week, and it's an honor to do that. I told him, I was like, whatever you need, like I will come up here. Don't pay me a dime. I just want to do it.
That's
Like, because
awesome.
so I'll get to do that. Hopefully this Monday, if not, maybe the Monday afterwards. But yeah, so I'll have that and do that. But yeah, that's kind of really the biggest thing. Long day at work.
Yeah.
I'm very physically tired because I have a very physical job, and my arms are sore because it's just a lot of lifting and.
A lot of
But
stuff.
yeah, a lot of stuff like that. Goodness, I'm trying to remember. There hasn't been a whole lot going on the last week other than that. So that's I'm looking at the calendar. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I got nothing. It's kind of boring.
Fair
I finished Pokemon Ultra Sun. So I finished the game. I'm the champion of the region, and now I'm just collecting Pokemon. So I'll pick up another Pokemon game soon. I have Blue saved onto my DS. So and a couple guys at work, we traded starters. So now I have all 3 of the starter Pokemon.
Nice.
So gonna ride the nostalgia train all through the Kanto region, and I got one of these little pop sockets on my phone. It's a Pokeball.
Oh, cute.
Little thingies. Yeah. So I may like Pokemon just a little bit. Not as much as Warcraft, but
I think you do.
yeah. It's fun. It's nostalgia. There's tons of people playing it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. What about you? How's your week been?
Week's been okay. So I have been dealing with so I have an injury, an old injury from a car accident that I had gotten into a couple years ago, it's probably like 4 or 5 years ago now.
I remember
where
that.
you remember this. I was rear-ended while I was at a full stop and I got hit. And it caused me some whiplash and it was just focused on the right side of my neck and my shoulder. So I've been under a tremendous amount of personal stress lately. Stuff I really can't talk about, unfortunately. But when I get really stressed out, that whole injury area just decides it wants to go haywire. So I have been dealing with like neck and shoulder issues for the entire week, which has just been, it just sucks the life out of you. Like I can't lift weights. I can't, because it hurts so much to do that. And, but tomorrow, hopefully, as long as the roads are okay, I finally have an appointment for a massage to get that worked out, because that is what helps my neck and shoulder, is if I can get someone to just get in there and get it out, get all of the awfulness out of there. So it's been a little difficult for me to do stuff, because like the only thing I can really do in terms of working out is I can walk on the treadmill, which is fine. But I can't lift anything, and I can't do my normal routines, which really sucks. So been trying to just deal with that. It's just frustrating, because I am terrible with pain. And so I have such a low pain tolerance that anytime I'm hurting, it's just like, it sucks everything out of me. It's just like, so yeah. So anyway, I'm doing that. It's really glad that I'm getting this done. Hopefully they can get in there and just break up all the tension that's in my neck and shoulder. Yeah. So that's cool. That's awesome. And so one of the things, because I've been under such tremendous stress, is that Nicole and Tim, who are my personal trainers, gave me some breathing exercises that have been really, really helpful, actually.
Wow.
And so I thought, I've shared them in our Discord, but I thought I would share them here, because I kind of, so in conjunction with my with the therapy that I talked about last week, the things that I'm supposed to do is to work on my stress levels. Well, my stress levels have been out of control. So, there's things that I have to do to try to make sure that, I'm not carrying that tremendous stress in my body as much as possible. So the breathing exercises that they gave me is that they told me, like, when you're stressed out, your breath centers into your chest, where it really should be centered into your diaphragm and your belly. And so if you're sitting there right now and you're breathing just in your normal breathing, look at like where your breathing is coming from, and it's probably coming from your chest in most cases because we're just not really paying a whole lot of attention to it. So what Nicole and Tim showed me, I mean, it's super easy. You lay on your back on the floor or on a bed or something like that. One hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and you look at where your hand rises. And if it is rising from your chest, then it's just the, take when you exhale to just recenter your breathing to try to fill your belly with air. And then once you've kind of gotten that moving, you lay your both hands on your stomach and just do this, slowly in through the nose and out through the mouth, about 2 to 3 minutes, and it's slowly, and it'll make a world of difference. Like, you come out just so much calmer, clearer. So, and there's a variation to this that I'll also tell you guys about, which actually I like better, and it's called crocodile breathing. And it's the same concept, except you're on your belly. So you flip over to your belly, and you lay your hands on the floor, and you put your face, your hands are down flat on the floor, and you put your face on your hands like a pillow. And the floor is going to show you where your breathing is. So you're feeling your body with air in your belly, and you really feel it rise on the floor. And every time you exhale out, you notice where there's tension in your body, and you wiggle slightly just to settle in a little bit further. So it's in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel the tension like in your shoulders or your back, and just settle more into the floor or the bed. And then do it again. And then notice where there's tension. And I like that one better. And I really, so one of the things I'm going to plan to do is to try to share some of the stuff that I can with you guys about my journey with stress relief and therapy, things that I can share that will hopefully help other people. Because I shared this in the Discord, and people were like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I'm like, okay, well, if this helps other people too, then I'm helping other people with it. Yes, I will share it.
Yeah,
so,
I actually I remember that technique from college band, because they're talking about taking in a deep enough breath to support, projecting your sound out. And it's the same idea, better filling your lung capacity up and breathing the more correct way. It's like filling a glass. Like, how do you fill a glass? From the bottom up,
right?
That's where the liquid goes. So that's awesome.
Yeah, if you've ever been
I forget to do that a lot too.
If you've ever been an instrument player or a singer, you know this belly breathing very well, because they teach you this as techniques all the time. As a singer, I had this. As a trombone player, you had this, where you will take in more air through your belly to your belly than you do from your chest. Like, it's just shallow breathing versus deep breathing, right?
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
And then you're adding more oxygen to your system, which is just everything good. So, this is something that I do once a day now, and it's so much easier than meditation. Let me just tell you that. It's much easier.
You can have music going or something else. You can be thinking about stuff while you're doing it. Yeah.
And it's literally just taking in a breath and letting it out. It ain't hard. I'm like, this is not going to challenge me too much. And boy, it actually feels good too. Okay.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Sign me up. I'll take that. So yeah, that's my share of the week for you guys. And I vow to try to share my wisdom that's shared to me through my experts, if I can, whatever I can share with you guys, as much as I can. That's what I, so those are my learnings for this week.
Yeah.
Been pretty good. So yeah, I cannot wait to get this pain out of my shoulder and my neck, though. You have no idea.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I slept wrong or something. No, what I did was in my sleep, I rolled over really quick last week, and I tweaked my shoulder really bad. It's like the whole day it's on fire. So I know you forget how much you use any random muscle in your shoulder or neck until it doesn't work, and it's awful. So I really do hope that you get some relief from the massage tomorrow.
Yeah,
because it sucks.
It sucks, and the nice thing is I know that it like massage, I know it helps. It's in the past, it has
Yeah.
helped. And so I'm like, oh, please, just don't snow enough that I can't get there, okay?
Yeah.
'Cause I really need to go. I really need to go. So anyway, we're going to get into the show. I am first going to read, I'm going to do this first. I'm not going to play the sounder. I'm going to read some feedback from our letter writer first, because I think it helps to preface the question that we're going to do.
Yeah.
So I don't normally do this, but we got this really amazing letter from Griffax from EU. And just, you know, sometimes a letter comes along to remind you what it is that you do when you're doing the show, like for us. And so I'll just read it. Dear Jules and Marconin, I wanted to write this letter to let you know how much you and your show have affected my life for the better. I have been listening since the early days of Jules and Rem. When I first found the show, I was heavily into WoW and getting a bit frustrated with my guild. But your straightforward and honest advice helped me along, and eventually I found my home and developed some awesome online friends that are now real-life friends. I continued to get my Triple T fix every week, and when it looked like it may be coming to an end, I was saddened. But I was so happy when Jules not only carried on, but developed the show to be even better with the help of Marconin. As the show slowly moved away from WoW and became more general life advice, I would listen to the struggles of your writers and be reminded to be thankful that I had not had to face their struggles in my life, but also take away valuable lessons about how to help my friends who had issues, how to keep a positive outlook on life, and continue striving to make things better. In particular, hearing the stories of how Jules has tackled everything that life has thrown her way, all while helping others to overcome problems of their own, has been an inspiration to me and shown me that there's always a way to find a light at the end of the tunnel. This has been no more evident than the last year, in which my father courageously battled cancer before sadly passing away on Boxing Day, far too soon at only 58 years old. Over this last month especially, your episodes about lost loved ones, coping with an unhappy Christmas, and most recently keeping your mask on, have felt like a much-needed friend speaking directly to me during this dark time, reminding me that all life lessons that you have given me over the past few years. To remember the good times with him, that I'm not alone in this, and that things will get better. I need to grieve, but not be lost in it. Life carries on around me, and I don't want to waste it. I'm moving forward with the help of friends and family, and I consider you two and the Moo Crew part of that. /Moo from Griffax EU. I just, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That means so much to hear. Like, it's just beyond to know that, you know, we come up with these topics sometimes, and I'm just like, are we talking to the ether? Are we helping anybody? Does this resonate with anybody? And I know it in my heart that even though we read a letter from somebody else, it helps other people in the same situation. But it's always good to know that.
Yeah.
It is always good to know that. So in that vein, Griffax also has a letter of advice to ask of us, which I hope will help other people out there as well who might be dealing with the same thing. I don't think we've ever had this kind of question on the show, so I'm pretty excited about this.
I don't think so either.
I think this is a first. How can I motivate my lazy housemate? For some background, 2 years ago, I purchased a house with my friend to get us on the property ladder. I had rented with this friend and two others for a few years before, and was aware he didn't like housework all that much, but didn't think much of it as the work was split 4 ways, and I thought he would show more enthusiasm when it was our house. Unfortunately, this has not been the case, and I find myself doing more of the work than I feel is right. He rarely does his share, doesn't tidy up after himself, and leaves stuff around the house for weeks at a time until I inevitably get fed up and do it myself. He even admits that he himself is lazy when I try to address the issue, and tells me he knows he needs to be better about it. We tried giving him chores that were necessary and could not be ignored, like the food shopping that can even be done online, and yet I still frequently find myself resorting to ordering takeaway, as the shopping will be done, quote-unquote, tomorrow. He says he doesn't want to waste his time on that stuff after he's been at work all day, and that he needs weekends to relax. He doesn't seem to see that I feel the same, but I do it because that's life, and sometimes adulting sucks. What can I do to try to address the issue without creating animosity or turning into his mom? From Griffix. Okay. I've never had this particular situation, like this actual situation, but I can relate so much to the if it doesn't get done, I will get so fed up that I'll just do it myself out of frustration.
Yeah.
I am so relating to that.
Oh yeah.
So, have you ever, or without naming names if it's current, do you have experience in this not sharing the load thing?
I have, but just nothing so specific. But I've definitely felt it a little bit sometimes with like college roommates and stuff like that, where it's the same kind of situation. I mean, it's different than home ownership because that carries a whole other load of things. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of similar things with not being able to share the load. And yeah, I just do it. I just get it done to get it done. I'm just like, whatever. It's got to be done. Someone's got to do it. And clearly they're not going to do it. So fine, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I have, I was really thinking about this question because I'm like, well, what would I do if this were me? And I would tend to, because the discussions have clearly not worked. It's all excuses. It's just like, I mean, it's a BS excuse to say that you need to relax on the weekends and that it doesn't really matter to, it's just like, he doesn't want to waste his time. It's like, well, excuse me, that is an excuse, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
As an adult and as a homeowner, you have responsibilities that you took on when you bought the house. And so that like, I would just be like in his face going, what you're saying to me is total BS. It's lazy, it's irresponsible, and that doesn't fly. So yeah. Find a new place to live but actually what I would actually do is I would find something that would motivate him. Like, and most of the time that's money.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I was going for.
You're going to go there too? Yeah. So here's my solution. Let's see if we're on the same page.
Okay.
That I'm assuming that they probably have a mortgage or some kind of house payment. Or,
bills, if nothing else, electricity.
Like you've got bills or something like that. That if you don't want to take on the responsibility of keeping care of the house, then his housemate needs to pay Griffix either more money, like housekeeper rate.
Yep.
Yep,
we're on the same wavelength there.
Okay. And so my reasoning in that is that if you most people are like directly motivated by money. Like if you you'll pay the money to have someone else do it, or you don't want to waste the money on something like that, you want to spend it on something else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So was there any variation to your idea on this one?
That's where I was going to launch with is like, okay, well, if I'm going to be your maid, then you're going to have to pay me. You're going to have to pay more of the, deduct what I would charge from my share of the mortgage or my share of the electricity bill. And you're going to have to, if I'm going to be cleaning up after you, then you're going to have to pay for it.
Right.
And I'm not going to pay, that would seem fair or motivating. I kind of like what Kaifin said in the in the chat room. Kaifin said that my sister did that too. Don't want to waste my time. So I started buying only food for myself and only doing my chores. When she ran out of food and had no clean clothes, she learned to do it.
That was my other solution. That was actually what I was going to suggest too. Yeah, I don't know if it my assumption is like they have common space that they both share, and therefore if one so like he would be stuck cleaning common spaces in the kitchen and that kind of thing. But the food, most definitely. Like, I was going to say that. If he doesn't want to do the grocery shopping for the house, then if you, but I could also see, and I'm wondering, I'll actually ask Kaya this in the chat room, like, would you have a problem? Like, I would see that the person who's saying that they're lazy would just wind up eating your food that you paid for.
That's why you lock it up or get a mini fridge or something. I've had to do that. I've had to have a mini fridge. Yes. Yeah. There's been times when I've had a mini fridge because people would come and eat my food. And that's, I'm not a small person. I'm kind of a large guy. I like to eat. If you take my food, I'm very mad.
Yeah.
One time my boss threw away my food at work, and it was my lunch. I was hopping mad. Like, I don't get that mad very often, but a long day, this has been like a year and a half ago. I got so mad, got right in his face. Not in like a personal sense, but like, why? Like, he picked the middle of the day to clean out the fridge at work, and like my food was just tossed, and I was so mad. Because I was hungry, Luckily, he was nice. There was a Subway nearby, and he bought me lunch.
Yeah.
So he was like, I thought I told everybody. I'm sorry. I'm like, no, you didn't. Okay, thank you. Like,
that's cool.
I was hangry times 5. So that was I was raging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
don't touch my food.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and the chat room is very much kind of supporting that idea of getting a mini fridge and putting it in your room if you needed to. It's hard because there are people out there that don't care about cleanliness in a home. They just don't. And it doesn't matter what you do. I've been to those people's houses, and I just,
I go there for work sometimes.
And you see it at your job, that is not a priority to them. That is, they don't care about a clean home. And so no amount of like bugging will do it. It's just going to be, how can you break him out, like, of his immobility, and you hit them where it hurts. It's like, if you have no food and you're spending money on someone you're basically paying someone to clean your house, and you don't have any money for other things, that can be a real big motivator.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got to find some way to motivate him or her to pick up the slack. I mean, it's like, and it's tough. I don't know if both of you guys are on the mortgage, if you both bought the house together.
Yeah.
That makes it tough, because then there's skin in the game for both of you.
Right.
And you can't just leave easily, because there's a whole crap ton of stuff you have to do with that.
Yeah. Because I will tell you right now, if I ever had a roommate that was sloppy and dirty, I couldn't deal with it. I'm not the cleanest person on the planet, for sure, but my house never smells bad, and I clean up the dishes after they're done, and vacuum and make sure that stuff is put away. And I couldn't deal with that if people were just like leaving stuff piled up and just and not caring. And I've lived like that in the past. It's horrific.
Yeah, one thing as far as like dishes that I have actually told someone to do is they're not clean. They're not doing the dishes or anything. Is like, put them in, like, just get rid of them. Just get rid of the dishes. Get rid of the pots and pans. Don't use them. Just get rid of them, or lock them away. Lock them in your room or something so that they can't use them.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if you want it, buy your own and clean it, or start cleaning them. It's a way to kind of get them, stop enabling them to be that way.
Yeah.
Which, they could always just buy paper plates, but at that point, you could just, if they're paying for the paper plates and utensils, they can just throw it away.
Sure.
And that's a lot easier to clean. So that's another like little niche thing that's,
I thought you were going to say put their dirty dishes in their bed or something.
That too. Oh, that was, actually, now that you mentioned it, that was part of it. So
was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Just put it in their room and just leave it in there.
Yeah. That is actually a solution that I would propose, is to say, that you don't get to use this other part of the house. If you don't clean it, you don't care for it, you don't maintain it, then you don't get to use it.
Yeah.
I think that is also a fair trade as well. And so if you want to use the dishes and you don't clean them, well, they're going to end up in your room because I'm putting them in there and you deal with them because that's your space and that's your domain and you do whatever. I really feel like you need to take a hard line on him because his excuses are so flimsy and lazy that something has to snap out of, like, he's got to grow up.
Does he have a girlfriend? Does he have anyone that he brings home?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like, because I mean, if not, get him someone to date, and it's like, oh hey, hey, I invited your girlfriend or boyfriend over. You know, like, oh no, this place looks like a hellhole. I got to clean it. Yeah, that's like one of my friends is now dating somebody brand new. Like they just started dating over the weekend, and he's like, I gotta clean my house. Like he's like, I mean, it's not bad anyway. I've been over there, but he's like, oh, now he's turning a more precise eye on every little detail that he might have glossed over.
Oh yeah,
like things I didn't even notice in the house that weren't bad, but they were just like, oh yeah, that could be fixed. Oh, he's like, I gotta fix it. I gotta,
a couple years
get
ago,
somebody in his. Somebody in his life.
Yeah, a couple years ago, I went on a date with a guy, and no joke, he invited me into his apartment, and I walked in there, and it was the most disgusting thing I had ever seen in my life. He had a cat, and apparently hadn't cleaned the litter box in a week because it smelled like cat pee, and there's like it was just dirty and dusty, and I'm like, ugh. Why would you invite a girl to your apartment? Why? Like, ew. It's just gross. And like and just the fact that nobody would, like, he wouldn't think about that before inviting me into his apartment was just like, oh god, we're not dating anymore.
Yeah. So that
first date is last date.
Yeah. That's a deal breaker.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and it does depend on, I'm trying to think about how to do it. Well, and he said he needs the weekends to relax. Everybody could use a weekend to relax. Pick one day to relax. Pick the other day to clean up. Yeah. Say if you work Monday through Friday, Saturday be your relaxing day and Sunday is your cleaning day. Yeah. And if you do it, like, pick a day, because I mean something's got to give. I mean, Griffex can absolutely can't keep going with this because it bugs the crap out of him.
Well, and
it would me too.
It's not a good. It's not a good living situation. It's not.
No,
fair.
It isn't. No, it's not fair at all. And what if Griffex wants to bring somebody over, to hang out, and he's like, sorry, this is my roommate. He's a slob. Let's go past all the gross common area that he won't clean up and go to my room where it's nice and clean and watch TV.
Right.
Or, and that's not a good situation to be in.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that doesn't look good.
Well, and so, you really have to think about what your options are in terms of, like, is it something that, you're both on this mortgage, you have to stay on the mortgage together, you have to live together.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I wanted to know is, like, are they both on the mortgage? I know it says that you purchased a house with your friends, so I don't know if his name's on there too.
Yeah, I mean, that's my guess, is that, and they're probably making payments on the house. And so, it's just, your house is your sanctuary. And if you have a terrible living situation, it can just affect every part of your life. So I'm with you. I'm like, look at your options. Even if they don't seem like the most viable options, that, at least there are options. Like, we could sell the house. I could, move out, or I can sell my share, or I can, or he can sell his share and I get a new roommate. It's just, you have to look at all those things too, because if this guy is going to be a slug, then that's not fair and it's not cool.
No, it's not fair at all. I mean, and there's probably a way you can go about talking to him without it being personal.
Yeah.
Trying like, getting a rise out of him, just like, hey man, honestly, we're doing this, like we own this house. It should look nice. I want it to be clean. You know that you should do better because it says in the letter that he knows that he needs to be better about it. Knowing you need to do something and doing something are 180, they're like miles apart.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know I need to lose weight. Am I losing weight? Not as much as I'd like, because I'm not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
There's miles apart between, knowing you need to do something and doing it. So he's got to change.
Yeah. Like
in some way.
I'm not perfect. Like I put off my grocery shopping to the very, very last moment where I need to do it. And then I'm like, I gotta go do this. And so I go do it.
Oh, it's ramen day. Better go to the grocery store.
Better go to the grocery store or the cleaning. I haven't cleaned the bathroom in a couple weeks, and I should probably do that. But the thing about it that can get awful is when it's like let go for so long that it becomes insurmountable. It feels like, oh my gosh, I have to do so much in order to just catch up, and then people kind of just go, and then they don't do anything. So small, like just small things, like, on this weekend, we're going to just tackle the living room, and that's just breaking down the boxes that piled up in the corner. And, that's all we're going to do today, but it makes a big difference. Take them out to the recycling. Okay, good. We've done that. And then the next one, we're going to do this and this. It just, sometimes you just have to break it down to these little tasks. Like I had these friends that were exactly that. Like they were so much, things would just pile. They had this huge dining table in their kitchen that things would just pile onto constantly. It would just be like, that would be their dumping ground. Everything would just pile onto this table until you couldn't find the table anymore. And it would literally happen like within a day, like, just, poof. And then I talked to them about it and they'd say, oh yeah, I know I need to clean the table, but there's just so much stuff on there. I don't even know where to start. And it's like, okay, so you'll let the one day that it took to like pile all that shit on the table, like stop you from it. So it would go on for weeks. And then the pile would actually start to climb the wall. And it was just like, and then of course it got worse and worse and worse. And my friend would tell me, she'd be like, I look at it and then I just go, oh, I can't. And then I don't. And then it gets worse and worse and worse. It's awful. And it's awful. I know, but you can't let it get to that point or else it is insurmountable. Oh, it made me so sad. Like my OCD would fire up so much when I was at their house that I would just want to take everything and just like sweep it off the table into a garbage bag. Because it's like, take it out of there and it's just like, get it out of the house. You don't need it. If it's piling up there, you don't need it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. I don't have hoarder tendencies, so that kind of thing makes me insane.
Yeah. It's not me either. I mean, I'm a collector, but there's a difference between collecting like a couple things and being a hoarder. Like I throw stuff away. So
if you guys have Netflix in the US, I don't know if it's in other regions, you need to watch the new Queer Eye on Netflix, which is the most amazing makeover show in the world right now. It's incredible, and it's so heartwarming to see these transformations of these people, because they go from just having zero confidence and self-esteem to like being super just happy. But there's an episode on there, and I won't spoil anything, but there's an episode on that show where they have a family of 6 kids and then the parents. And when they go into the home to see what it looks like, it was that hoarder type of thing. Like I have no idea how they transformed their house. I have no idea, because it was just like, oh my gosh. But it makes me feel a whole lot better about like when I feel like things are getting a little out of control in my world, and I'm like, oh honey, you're fine. You're fine. And they said literally the same thing, where it's just like it just became so overwhelming that they couldn't do it all.
Yeah.
So
Insurmountable.
anyway, it is. It's and so I will. I have a feeling that it's just like for Griffex, it's that feeling of like what I can relate so hard to, which is, oh my God, I can't stand it anymore. So I'll just take it over and do it. And then it's a resentful feeling. You don't get anywhere except the fact that you have a clean house that you had to do extra for, which sucks.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, anyway, I hope this has helped.
Yeah, I hope it does too. And it's. I mean, you want your roommate to succeed. Because not only because he's your roommate, so I assume he's kind of you at least have a little bit of a friendship or camaraderie because you decided to go into this big thing together. So you want him to succeed. So letting him know like, hey, I want what's best for you, and I know you want what's best for you.
Yeah.
The way things are going is not what's best for you or for me or for the house.
Yeah.
So I'm coming from a place of concern and of caring. But also, good Lord, does it just irk me that you're doing this?
Yeah,
I'm here to help.
To not live alone, so therefore you need to put up with the fact that you have, if this is your own house, you can do it however the hell you want. So if that's what you're aiming for, that's how I look at it. If you want to live alone, then go live alone. Like aim to do that.
Yeah.
Nobody to bug you about cleaning up the place.
Yeah. So I mean. It especially the way if you approach him in that way, hopefully it'll go over a little bit easier. But yeah, something's got to give, man. Whether it be him paying you or paying more of the bills as kind of to offset your cleaning.
Now make him pay you. Make him give you money every time you clean his mess or you do his shopping. Yeah. I mean,
that does dig in a little bit more than just signing over more of the mortgage. Yeah.
I think so. Like you have to write me a check every time I have to clean up the house after you. Every time I think that's my favorite solution.
Yeah. It breeds a little bit more possibility for confrontation for my liking, but I understand your approach and I can definitely appreciate it because it's more direct. It's more of like, yeah, this is what you're doing. You are paying me to clean up your mess. A grown man is paying another grown man in his own house to clean up your stuff.
If you paid a delivery person to deliver your groceries, you would pay a delivery fee and you would tip them.
Yep.
You would pay for the groceries. If you paid a cleaning person to come to your house and clean your house, you'd pay them and you tip them. Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see why it would be any different. If you are not, if those things need to get done in your home and you are not the one doing them and you need that service provided to you, then you should pay for that service. That's what I see. So
yeah, call up a local cleaner and ask them what their rates are.
$100, about $100.
Yeah, just get like a base thing to say, hey, this is how much they're charging in the industry.
Yeah.
I
don't know what it's like
much.
in the EU, but in the States, it would be like to have someone clean clean a couple rooms in your house, it's a couple $100. So, so get a little extra money for you in the process, like of just cleaning up your house. That's awesome. Getting groceries. That's awesome. I would take that deal if he's not cleaning.
Yeah, I would too.
So that's my advice. Hit him. Most people are money motivated and money driven.
Yeah.
And if he's got all the money in the world and he doesn't care, then it shouldn't matter to him that he pays you to do that stuff for him.
Yeah. Let us know how it goes and how you approached it. And because we're pulling for you, hoping that he'll either turn over a new leaf. Which at this point, I don't guess it'll happen, but we can always hope. Or that you've got a little bit extra spending cash and he's, helping you out in that way.
He's lying in filth in his room.
Yeah. All the dirty dishes that he leaves, just put it in a big bin and just, there you go.
Wrap
I don't
him
want
in
to
his
see it.
sheets. Just put him in his sheets. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
just put it on his bed.
I'm so mean about this, but I have zero tolerance for anybody who just uses those kinds of excuses to try to get away with that stuff. It just
Yeah.
it's so hollow and it's so lazy that it's like, no, dude, that's not okay. That doesn't fly.
Yeah.
So
No.
anyway, that is our question of the week. You guys can share your feedback. Jump into our Discord server and share it in our discussion topic room. That'd be a great place for this. It's
Yeah.
tinyurl.com/tttchat2 is the quick link to get into Discord if you aren't already a member. And why aren't you if you aren't? Because it's a really cool community and we've had some really good discussions in there lately. So, but if you would like to stay anonymous and you would like to send it to us via a letter, you can email us at questions@taurenThinkTank.com, or you can send us a tweet at TaurenThinkTank. Our DMs are also open there. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into Tell Us One Thing, which is the fun part of the show where we ask a question and you give us answers.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Mark Honan came up with the questions this week, and you started off with question 1.
Yes, I did. The first one is, what's the most memorable restaurant you've ever eaten at?
Easy answer for me. When I worked at my previous job for the eyewear company, we would go to conventions in Vegas and New York City. And for the first couple years, I got to go to these conventions. We were going to trade shows, and we were working the booth there at the trade show. So, our company owners took us in Vegas to the Paris restaurant in the Paris Hotel. And the Paris restaurant, if you've ever been to the Paris Hotel in Vegas, it's a replica of the Eiffel Tower on the top. So you go up into the escalator, up into the Eiffel Tower, and the restaurant is up there. And our owner got us a table right against the window where you could see the entire strip, and the Bellagio fountains were right outside the window, and you could see that every 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And the food was a 9-course meal with wine pairing at every course.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm assuming that the meal per person was in the like $200 to $300 range. It was insane. And I was so drunk after it was done. I was so drunk because of all the wine that we drank. And, and I've got to work the next day. And so
Oh, no.
I was so hungover the next day and working. It was awful. But it really was the best meal I'd ever had in my life. It was so incredible. I have never, ever had a meal like that in my life. And I probably never will again. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So that's mine. How about you?
Well, this was inspired by I went to a really nice restaurant with my wife for a belated Valentine's Day dinner, but that one was great. But I will have to say the most memorable restaurant for me is Denny's in Anaheim.
Really?
BlizzCon. No, I'm kidding. That's a second because I always end up at Denny's at BlizzCon, so that's a lot of funny times there. But the real one for me is Emeril's in Orlando. Emeril Lagasse's restaurant that's there at Universal Studios, or just outside of it. For my honeymoon, we went to Orlando and did the Disney thing, the Universal thing, and we went to Emeril's there and did the whole 9-course thing, the dinner they had for 2, and it was just a smattering of different things from all over the world. It's the first time I'd ever had what is it? It's like goose liver. What is that called?
Foie gras.
Foie gras. Yes, it's the only time I've ever had that, and I was beyond full when we got done.
Yeah.
And it was like we were on the set of some fancy restaurant show, just because of how fancy the food was. I felt like I was on Food Network because it was just I don't eat stuff that looks this good. Like the sandwich at Subway, and then this fancy little plate of stuff. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like you were eating an art exhibit.
That's
all these
yes.
beautiful pieces of art and
That's
sculpture.
exactly how I felt too.
You
You just felt like you were in another world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then we realized when we were getting dessert that we were going to run late to see Blue Man Group, and so I ran to get there in time on full of food, and that was not a good idea. I was a little nauseous for a minute because I was so full of food and running. And then we got there, I was just like, oh, I feel so fat. But the food was amazing. It was so good.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think it's the only time I've been to well, not the only time, because there's a restaurant in Louisiana that one of the people who won Chopped, I think, on Food Network, he's got a restaurant down there.
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten there, but other than that, this is the only big name restaurant that I've ever been in. So
cool.
It was just cool to see, and I was like, I'm in Emerald's. This is really cool.
I feel very special.
It's so fancy. I'm so fancy in my weird t-shirt and jeans in this fancy pants restaurant, but
well, we asked you guys what your thoughts were. Wolf Tracker said the most memorable experience was the Rainforest Cafe in San Francisco. I've been to those. Are weird. Those are it's a very strange experience.
I've never actually been. I've been next to them, walked past them, but I've never actually eaten in a Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah. I don't think they have the best food, but they most definitely have the best, wild, crazy atmosphere going on. I can't imagine working there and hearing that all day long.
Oh, yeah. All the coworkers are like, end it, please.
Please stop it.
Please. Kaifin says, it was called the Greenhouse. It was downtown in Bangor, Maine, and it unfortunately is closed. It was unique in that it had a 270-degree view of the river and woods in downtown. The food was very expensive, but worth it for the ambience and the quality of the food. I'm willing to pay top dollar for good food. I will splurge a couple times a year for really good food.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I'll splurge on is good food.
Oh, for sure. GDSMGL says Cinderella's royal table at Disney in Florida. I'm a total dork, but it was in the castle and had a decent view of the park. The food was awesome, but very expensive. Probably the best experience that I've had eating out somewhere.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is a cool restaurant. I have been there. It's crazy. It's awesome.
Oh, nice. Kalani says Michael Mina's restaurant on the Embarcadero in San Francisco. Sorry, I butchered that name. It was during my first real business trip, and I was in a little over my head with the food, and not the work trip. I have to try that out.
Yeah. Deekshin said, during my time in the Navy in June of 1994, to be more exact, my ship was on its way to yet another Middle Eastern deployment. We pulled in for a port visit at Cavalier-sur-Mer on the south coast of France to participate in the observance of the 50th anniversary of the D-Day landings. That evening, myself and 3 of my friends went to a restaurant in town to buy ourselves a nice meal that wasn't galley food. We ended up spending the rest of the evening there hanging out with a group of very friendly locals and generally having a blast. When the evening wound down, our entire tab had been taken care of. I've eaten at a lot of great places over the years, but that night was certainly one of the most memorable.
Oh, wow. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
That is really, really good. At RJ Sketch says, Lake Park Bistro, an authentic French restaurant where I had the best filet mignon ever. One would hope so, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Filet mignon at a French restaurant. I don't think I've ever eaten French food, specifically like a French restaurant.
It's so good.
I bet. Oh.
Zombie Dan says, Bobby McGee's. It's no longer open, but the staff dressed the customers based on fairy tales, and the seating was themed to the characters that were serving you.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Zedeca says, I grew up going to the same sushi bar a few times a year. Very nice place. The chef there knew us and watched my sister and I grow up. I miss that place.
Aw. Ili_CTR says, I went to a Greek restaurant just outside Nuremberg, Germany. What was intended as a quick stop, a stop for a quick meal turned into a marvelous half-weekend exploit complete with no bar bill.
Oh, those are always the best
That
kind.
is the best.
Namiria941 says, the best meal I have ever eaten was at Shiro Sushi in Seattle. The tuna was so good that I actually cried.
Oh, wow. That's
Ooh.
awesome.
Yes. Yes,
I
please.
miss
I'd
good
like to try that.
restaurants, man. I don't get to go out to very many because I don't like eating alone. It's just weird. So
Yeah.
it's just an odd experience. So yeah, I look forward to the days where we're a group of people together that can go out to dinner again.
Yes.
Yes. So then we have our second question, which is, what is something that people always ask for your help with? Marconin, what do people always ask for your help with?
Hey, I've been having problems with my computer. That's mostly what it is. Because I've always been a techie.
Yep.
I've always, it's kind of funny because I had a friend in college who was like the resident band nerd / computer nerd, and he was like, "Yeah, I just look for the error code and I Google it and then I fix it."
Yep.
And I was like, "That's pretty much what I do, 98% of the time." And yeah, computer problems. That's mostly is computer stuff. And then of course, when I'm at home, when I'm back in my hometown, my mom will ask me to change light bulbs and
Yep.
get stuff off the top shelf.
Yep.
And tall guy things.
Guy things, because you can reach that stuff.
Well, yeah, and I never mind doing it, because I'm like, oh, you mean this? There you go. Like, like I like it. It's like having a superpower that you never get tired of.
Whereas I have to go dig out my stool so I can get up on the
Yep.
stool, so I can get up to the high spot, so I can change the light bulb. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I was at work the other day, and one of the shorter guys in our team, he got a step stool for himself, and then he like dragged a second one that was almost broken. He's like, "All right, help me lift this thing," and I just kind of like I picked up the stuff, and then I just casually slid the stool away on my side, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't need that. Oh, did I just insult your height or anything?" Because he's like, "Oh, excuse me, Mister, I don't need a step stool. Oh, got a real guy over here. We can't be doing that. None of that." And I was like, "No, you're fine. It wasn't safe, and I didn't need it." So yeah, computer stuff and tall guy stuff. How about you?
For me, I think my dad already went to bed, but typically I will get my dad will be on Skype with me and hold up his phone and say, "Do you see this on the screen? How do I fix this?" It's usually that. Or I will help with their computer. How do I do this? How do I do that? But a lot of times for me, it's people asking me for life advice. That's typically what I help people with as a perspective on things, which is, it's what I'm good at. So that's okay. So I'll usually get that. I want to run this past you and see what you think. Okay, go ahead. All right.
Yep. I've done that many times.
Yep. So it's when you have your superpowers, you use them, right? So just people have the superpowers of and like 90% of our answers are people saying computers. So because apparently because we're all gamers and nerds, we all have the computer superpower. So makes sense. First one from Wolf Tracker says, computer repairs. I was trained as a network engineer, and friends know I build and upgrade my own systems every few years. So if Windows flakes or they get malware, they call me.
Mm-hmm. Kaifan also says, setting just about anything up on the computer. Doing it right now as I type this. Helping 2 people set up an add-on for their game. Whether it's Word or Publisher or tax programs or heck, even setting up passwords for different computer users. I seem to get the calls.
Yep. Kalani answers, do I even need to answer this, Jules? Because Kalani is my tech go-to. If I can't figure it out, if I don't know how, I ask Kalani. And he knows.
He is Triple T's tech support.
He's my life tech support. Always.
Oh, yeah.
I had a moment yesterday, or was it yesterday or the other day, where I actually taught him something. And I said, mark this moment. I taught Kalani how to do something that he didn't know how to do.
etch that in stone. It needs to go on. It needs to be cataloged.
I know. I seriously don't know what I would do without Kalani and his help, because he just knows things that I don't, and he's always willing to help. But I I was so happy that I taught him how to do something. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. Deekshin says, "Well, I'm both a mechanic and an electrician. I get more than a few 'Hey, help me fix the thing' calls. I don't mind. I just enjoy fixing things."
RJ Sketch says, "People used to ask me for help with computers, but I hate it. Now I help out with anxiety, relationship, and friendship advice." Yes.
At Zombie Dan says, "Computers. Apparently, because I work in IT, I know everything about all computers and software."
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Where I work, they're like, "Hey, you know computers?" And I'm like, kinda. So it's like, they're like, "You help me with this."
Well, I was having some TV thoughts the other day, and I was about to pick up the phone and call you. And I'm like, well, that doesn't count because you actually do this for a living. So I could ask you this and you would tell me. Like, you know,
Yeah, I would.
how to install a TV on the wall questions. Like, you know that.
Yeah.
That's stuff that
Oh,
you
yeah.
do every day. Like, you would be able
Yeah.
to be an expert on that.
Yep,
But
I got you.
the Zedeca says, "I'm known for my professional experience, so I usually get asked about lighting or AV work." Yeah.
Eli_CTR says, "Changing headlamp bulbs. Why? Hell if I know. Headlamp bulbs. If I had $1 for each cut, slice, or scrape."
Uh-huh. Yeah. I swear, though, that, like, my car is, like, the beastly headlight changing. Like, it's not easy to do it. And so there was a guy where I used to work who could get in there because he knew cars and he knew how to get into but I have, like, a 2004 Subaru Legacy, and this is, like, this weird jacked up way to get to the headlamp. And I have, like, I blow them like every year or so. There must be a short in this damn car. But so I just take her to the dealer and have them fix it because it's, it's stupid.
Oh yeah.
Nymeria 941 says, "Relationship advice. I'm young, so it's not like I have vast experience, but I get asked for relationship advice by older and younger friends and family."
Nice. Yeah.
Yep.
Just kind of bouncing stuff off your ideas, or bouncing ideas off you.
Yeah. So those were some fun answers. I enjoyed these questions a lot, and we will revive Tell Us One Thing next week as we ask new questions, which you can find on our Discord server. Again, the quick link to get there, tinyurl.com/TTTchat2. And you can also find them on Twitter. It's at Tauren Think Tank on Twitter. And we have some slash moves, so we will play the sounder that is known for slash move. Start us off, sir.
Yes. First up, we've got from Kaiafin, /moo to my raid team, Gluttons for Punishment. They convinced me to return to raiding and have made the experience fun again. I get to just play and have fun with my friends, and that is priceless to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kalani says /moo to Joss, the Buttress, and the rest of the Get Your Crit Together team for getting down heroic Argus for ahead of the curve this week.
Nice. Yay. From Deekshin /moo to Karen for looking out for me when I forgot to look out for myself.
That's awesome. Nymeria 941 says /moo to my friends Jordan, Abby, and Dahlia for helping me get through a really rough patch with my depression. You guys are the best.
Awesome.
Yes. And that, Marconin. Oh, you have a /moo?
Oh, yeah, just a slight one to my raid team because, as Kalani reminded me about the heroic Argus, we got down regular, normal Argus this week. So
Woo!
I've cleared Antorus. There are many nerd screams, and it was wonderful. And it only took like 4 pulls to get it down.
That's awesome.
It's actually not that bad. I mean, heroic, heroic's gonna be bad. We're only 1 in on heroic, but got to get that Raven mount. So I'll be doing it. So
yes, you will. Draven Dresden gets a last breaking /moo in to say /moo to my raid team. Also, Hyjal Volunteer Fire Department soon to change the name to Teldrassil Volunteer Fire Department on ahead of the curve last night.
Grats. Another mount that Draven has that I don't have. Wonderful. Congratulations, Draven.
Well, you
Good
know,
job.
you're just gonna have to get Draven to like take you through on the head of the curve thing.
Hey,
That
guys,
mount is
can I
really
just
cool.
kinda-
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a
Hey,
gorgeous
guys,
mount.
can I sit in and get the mount, please? Thank you.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Can you? In last tier, I had people whispering me saying, "I'll take you through and get you the mount," and I'm just like, I haven't rated in 6 months. They're like, well, we don't care. I'm like, that feels really cheap. I can't. I can't do it.
That's why I pay for mine. That's why I
Yeah.
had to pay for mine.
I mean, they were super, super nice, and they're like, "Oh, Jules, we'll get you." And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. I haven't rated in 6 months. I'm not gonna just get carried through. Like, oh, it feels really bad, man. So
Oh, I'll get carried through. Marcona don't care. Marcona will do anything for a mount.
Marcona had no shame.
Marcona has no shame. I will bribe Blizzard for a mount. You watch.
Oh my. Okay, so now that it's documented on the internet that you said this.
Can y'all tweak my RNG? Can we get bad luck protection put on this rocket mount next year, please?
Please.
Be retroactive so everybody gets it the first drop.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. Marcona, that's a show. It's a show. We're making the show.
It is a show. We did it. That's a show. It happened.
So what's happening in the next 7 days?
Oh man. Well, we're gonna say goodbye to February because next week's show will be on March 1st. So
yeah.
we're already a sixth of the way through the year.
Please.
2018's breezing by.
Get me out of this winter already. I am sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of snow. Get me closer to spring. That's all I'm asking.
Yes. I like pleasant days. Pleasantly warm, medium temperatures. Like if it could be 65 to 68 outside, that'd be perfect. Just leave it that way. Leave it. But yeah, it's not a whole lot's going over the next week. Like I said earlier, possibly getting to produce that tribute show for my friend Jim.
Yep.
We'll see. Still got to hear back and see when they've got some production. We've got one of the studios open, so I can go in there. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty good week, I think. I'm actually off work tomorrow, so I get to sleep in and be beautiful. Can't wait.
Yay.
Yeah, just gonna do. Since I'm off work tomorrow, if I can swing it, I might stream stuff. We'll see. Stay tuned at Marconan Wow on Twitter, and it's Marconan on Twitch. So twitch.tv/Marconan.
Yeah.
Somehow I snagged that name. Couldn't get Marconan on Twitter. Some guy that hasn't tweeted since 2009 and still sitting on that one. I'm not bitter.
You're not bitter.
I'm not bitter.
Someday they'll purge, but you don't even know. You'll see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Someday. Maybe.
Cool.
What about you? What's going on the next week for you?
It's pretty quiet this week because I don't have any HGC to cover because they're off this week waiting for the Western Clash. So I'll just be watching Overwatch League. I have been making some really cool stuff lately with chainmail. And I really I got a lanyard commission that I put out there recently, just posted this last weekend. And it was beautiful. It was a beaded rainbow lanyard, which was super cool. And I'm also doing a giveaway right now that's running through Sunday, and it's on my Twitter. I am doing a giveaway for one of my Overwatch League keychains, and it's the winner's choice. You can pick which of the 12 teams that you want to represent, and I will mail it to you, and it will be any region. I will mail it internationally too, because it doesn't cost me a ton to do that on this size package. So I'm doing this contest to say thank you for everyone who has been so supportive of my chainmail for the last year, because we're approaching 1 year of me doing this, which is incredible. And if you go to my Twitter and go to my pinned tweet, you will see the one you just have to follow if you're not following my Twitter, and you have to retweet it to get your entry. So yeah, I'm excited. It's been an awesome year. I cannot wait for BlizzCon 2018 lanyards, because I can't wait to see what everyone's going to come up with for their commissions, because I did some really cool ones last year. So yes,
I love mine.
I also have, I'm sitting in front of me right now, I have a Pokeball fidget toy that I made, which is just the coolest thing ever. And
my wallet is trembling for that one.
You want that one bad, I know, because it's so you, and it's so cool. Yeah, if you want to see the stuff that I'm making, you can go out to chainofjewels.com, and it's got all the stuff that I've like made in the past. It's got links to my Etsy store. It's got links to my commission form. I don't talk about it a lot, and I should talk about it more because BlizzCon lanyard season is going to come soon. So if you want to get something from me, you can, and I love making them. So there you go.
Yep. And it's Chain of Jewels, Jules, not Jewels.
Yeah,
in case.
Just in case. I mean, I think most people, I assume people know how my name is spelled, but that's a good point because we see it spelled Jewels a lot in the emails, so we get it. So yes, my name is spelled Jules, and it's chainofjewels.com. So anyway, with that, I think we will bring the show to a close as we always do, just like this. If I can find the sounder, there it is. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. You can find us outside of the show on our website, taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us, too. And if you'd like some sweet Triple T merchandise, you can find that cool stuff at taurenThinkTank.com/store. Get yourself an awesome t-shirt or a sweatshirt to keep you warm. Get some mugs, phone cases, or notebook and laptop cases, and some other cool stuff. taurenThinkTank.com/store, folks.
Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. If you'd like to help out Triple T, you can do so at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank. We start our new stuff there, and we will start our new patron game nights next month. So get
That's like next week is next month, so get in there.
Yeah, get in there and do it. If you want to meet other members of the Triple T community, you can join our Discord server and hang out with those lovely folks. The quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/tttchat2.
You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at TaurenThinkTank. You can also find Jules at JulesRPG and myself, Marconin, at MarconinWow.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight. Hang out every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central. We are recording live on Twitch every Thursday at 8 o'clock at twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank. You can come hang out in the chat room with all of our lovely people who like to talk along with us. It's pretty awesome. Marconin,
Yes. Jules?
have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Don't drown or anything.
I'll try not to. Try not to let the house flood. You have a wonderful week. And try to dig out from all that snow.
I know! Grrr, I like the stupid snow. I'm so sick of it. We'll be back next week with another topic. We've got lots of letters, but keep sending them in because we could use more.
Yeah.
Always. For myself and Marconin, for the entire chat room. Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 Creepy.
Really?
Creepy.
I broke.
Oh, we have a show title dump.
That's a big dump. Had to. Caffeine's kicking in. Kaifin, that's freesound.org. Has a lot of sound effects and things, mostly the sound effects and other things like that. That's where I find them from. A lot of cool stuff. So Incompetech is a good website. A lot of podcasters use this music because it's royalty free. It's one of the best places to get just music to use. And then freesound.org. I'm a little stuffy now, so that's why I'm like freesound.org.
You got like towards the end of your like towards when we were reading the outro, your Skype got Skypey. Like your video is fine, and your audio got weird.
It's Skypey.
You know exactly what I'm saying when Skype gets Skypey.
Yeah, it's become its own description
of bad audio.
Yeah.
I like the Love Rocket scandal as the title.
Or Marcone has no shame. Eating an art exhibit.
Well done, Draven. These are funny.
Nope, tie dad. I did like that when I tweeted out that I really wanted to get a DeLorean, and that he tweeted out like an agreement with forgot his name, that guy.
David something.
Harbor.
Yes.
Harbor.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was like, exactly. And then I just like, nope, tie dad.
Not this past show, but the show prior to that, we named it It's a Tie Dad.
Yeah.
So we can't do it again, but we did it now, so that's why it's a running joke now, which I'm okay with that. I think it's pretty funny.
Yep.
Oh gosh. So I'm gonna go with the Love Rocket scandal. I think that's a good one.
Yeah,
well
that's
done,
fine.
Draven. Your show notes titles were very good tonight. Quite good. Thank you for being here and doing that.
Yes, thank you, Draven.
It's so awesome.
The official show title engineer generator.
I know you're putting them in there. I'm explaining to Kaya why I'm not choosing them. Kaya, be safe and
Yes.
and heal quickly. Best of health to you after surgery. Keep us posted in Discord how things are going. And
Yes, please do.
yes, lots of healing energy to you. Yes. So, we will be back next week. We have one more letter, I think, in our hopper. I think it's one more.
In the hopper.
And yeah, it's
Hopper.
that's the name of the character that guy plays, so that's why it was kind
Yep.
of funny. Hoppa.
Chef
Seriously watch Queer Eye. It is the most enjoyable show I have watched in ages. And I laugh so hard and I cry and it fills my heart with joy and it makes me feel so good and happy that it's just, yeah, watch it. I can't say it enough. You need something to pick you up and make you feel good about life, that'll do it. Because right now, the news is absolutely freaking horrible, and
Yep.
And so you need something to warm your heart and soul, and that show does it. So, yeah, Overwatch League and Heroes of the Storm are on right now. I know. I will watch that after we're done and see what's happening. So
What happened?
this would be happening. So, anything else before we get out of here? You can go chill. You probably haven't eaten either, have you?
No,
Yeah, you
but
should
I'm
eat some
okay.
food. You should
Like
eat
that's
some food.
the nature of the job.
Yeah.
But
Yesterday,
at
I
least
was
I can sleep
out.
in.
Yeah,
Yesterday,
you can.
what?
Yesterday, I was out running around. I had a bunch of errands to do. I had to stop at Pat's house. I had to do a bunch of things. And so because it was freaking cold out, I figured I would try to pile all my errands into one thing and then go to the gym, which was the stupidest thing that I should have. It was I left the house at 11, a little bit before 11, and I didn't get home until 1:30, and I had gone to the gym, and I went to the gym hungry, which was awful. So
Oh yeah.
I got home and I had done the grocery shopping before I went to the gym, so I had to haul all my groceries into the house. I was so hangry. I was just I need food right now. And so it was nothing else mattered. I don't care. I was just drop the groceries on the counter, bag of them, grab a bite of something, and then run downstairs and try to get more stuff in. Because it was so desperate. My body was like, nope, you're done. Yep. So
Just immediately I need sustenance now.
yeah, well, it was stupid for me to go to the gym already hungry, because then you just come home and you're just I need sustenance right now. I just burned all those calories and I'm dying. So yeah, it was stupid. I usually have a snack before I go to the gym, which is the smart thing to do. Don't do what I did. So
Yeah, and don't eat a full 9-course meal at Emerald Lagasse's and then run. Yeah. Bad news bears.
And don't drink 9 glasses of wine, small glasses of wine, but there were still 9 glasses of wine, while you're having to work the next day. Just don't.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I'll try not to.
We're out out of here. Happy week. Enjoy your weeks. And /moo.
/moo, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
And next month.
Yes. Bye-bye.